I was asked to come and talk about my story now. I'm sure you've heard lots of stories about people that have lost weight, so I will skip through it quickly, and then if you want to ask me anything, you can afterwards. But I'll tell you quickly. There is the before and after picture of me, before and after. And I used to be a rugby referee. That I think was about a fantastic picture. Fine. I didn't get many pictures taken when I was that size. I was almost 16 stone, and now I do triathlon for Great Britain. And recently, Gabby asked me to bring this. It's not something I publish, and it's not on my website, and you will struggle to find this on the internet because I haven't added my name to it. But I was asked recently to do this because they were doing a story on people who had been obese and were now proud of their bodies. So that was just before Christmas. Now, I lost 4.5 stone, and I did it because I went to Dorothy Perkins and decided to buy some trousers in size 18, wouldn't fit anymore. And so that was that for me, really. I trotted off to Weight Watchers and did that, and decided I was going to do a race, and one of my first races was the ones that Alan was talking about earlier, the Wellingborough multi-terrain. And then read Jane Tomlinson's autobiography and thought, oh, how did that go? I'll try to do that. She can get around London Marathon whilst having chemotherapy, then I'm sure I can manage to do a little triathlon. Hadn't swum before, had to have lessons, didn't have a bike, had to go and buy one. And running, I'd hated running, that's why I'd abandoned that idea. So it all sounds a bit of a disaster, really. But I did one, and absolutely loved it, and that was that. And here I am now. Now, it was a strange journey for me because I then discovered that somebody should have told me about this earlier. It was sort of like, why did my life only start at 37, you know, and not before that? Why had nobody told me about this? So I have always had a battle with food and everything like that, and all of my family are all very overweight. My sister is larger than a size 20, and my dad is diabetic and has recently had a triple heart bypass, and a lot of that was to do with weight. So I've got a vested interest in keeping myself this size because I don't want to end up like that. Now, I was interested in nutrition and all of that because it never has been easy for me. Weight Watchers was hard work. I found it hard work from the start to the finish, and I had a focus on what it was I wanted to have that I couldn't have anymore. And that didn't work for me because I was always thinking about the next cake that I couldn't have, or something like that, you know. So I decided to learn about nutrition so that I could fix that. And now the way I eat is actually in reverse to the way Weight Watchers probably would tell you to eat. This is probably what I would have in the typical day. And you think, gosh, Daddy. I wanted to bring it so that you could see what I called a medium portion, because people say medium portions and you think, that's medium. But no, that's my medium, it's fine. If you look at the size of the muesli I have, that's actually quite a big bowl. When I was first looking into this, I was told to have 2 lots of the Oats So Simple oats. Now, when I first tried that, I thought, I can't get through that. I can't eat all that. But the thing with that is oats is a slow release carb. So what it does is keep you full until Christmas. Which it did. Keep you full until your lunch at lunchtime. And snacking was always a big problem for me, huge problem. So I eat these things now. Now I'm not anything to do with naked bars. I'm not trying to sell them, but they're the only thing that I found in the shops that don't have added sugar. Now, they do have nuts, so if you have a nut allergy, there's a bit of a problem there. They don't have added sugar, and there is chocolate flavoured ones, which is even better. And you can get them from Sainsbury's. I haven't found them in the other supermarkets. Morrison's stopped doing them. But they're great if you're looking to lower your sugar intake and watch your weight and that sort of thing. And I live off them, and fruit. So, what I would say, if you're looking at your nutrition, is to make sure you double your breakfast. So, your breakfast is your most important meal. A lot of people say, oh, I haven't time for that. We've always got to have time for breakfast. My sister, size 20 plus, never eats breakfast and never has. And I've always tried to tell her that's her problem, and she won't listen. She won't listen. Now, lunchtime, I try to have a salad or something that doesn't contain carb. Now, if you think about how many things you eat in a day that contains carbohydrate, you've got your bread. Now, there's a lot of carbohydrate in bread and not a lot of much else. So if you're eating a lot of bread, then that's a lot of extra fat that you're taking in that isn't going anywhere. Now this is how what I use to illustrate carb. If you imagine that's the carb you ate in one day, and that's your muscle. Now there's only so much carb will go in your muscles before it then starts to store as fat. So this is your carb, that's your muscle. What happens? You get your muffin top and your bingo wings and that sort of thing. So you really need to be careful about how much carb you eat, and that is where you'll find you make the biggest difference with your weight management. People say at the start of the year, right, I want to lose weight. Now I need that rephrasing. Lose weight isn't what you want to do. What you want to do is lose body fat. Because if you lose weight, and the problem with Weight Watchers diets and rapid weight loss diets is that you lose a lot of muscle, a lot of water, and not always fat. So you've got to be careful of that. If you are looking at training as well, the way I balance it is this salad meal would be the one that's not anywhere near training. So if I was training today, I'd have done some training before or after my breakfast, and I'd have done some training before or after my tea, but not in the middle of the day. Because you need to try, if you can, to have one carb-free meal in a day. Now protein is another important thing. People always relate protein to bodybuilders, and it isn't. I have protein shakes. I lift heavy weights. When I go to the gym, people go, but you wouldn't think you wouldn't think I'm a bodybuilder, would you? You don't think I'm not like muscly looking. Protein doesn't do that for you. Protein repairs your muscle and helps you recover quicker. So if you find you go for a run, you come back thinking, ow, then protein's going to help you. Protein and carb mix afterwards will help. So what a snack that would be, there are nuts in there. A little bag of nuts about that size and an apple after you've done your running. That would be an ideal snack for when you come back. And then a meal within an hour. If you're one of these people, like sometimes I am when I've been racing, I can't eat afterwards, protein carb shakes, there is nothing wrong with those, and you won't gain weight as long as you're not eating too much carb in the first place. It is important that you take your nutrients in the right places. So, for example, carbohydrate, if you're looking to trim down, if you think you eat quite well already and you're looking to trim down what you eat and make it even healthier, a good source of carb is whole grains and sweet potato. You could switch your white potato for a sweet potato, maybe even just once a week. Bananas, but you need to be careful about bananas because they are also high in fat and carb as well. So I would only suggest you have bananas if you're before or after training as a snack perhaps. Beans, peas, lentils, veg, wholemeal bread, so that's another easy switch. If you eat white bread, switch it to wholemeal bread. Pasta, if you're going to have pasta, and that's another thing to be careful of, white pasta, switch it to wholemeal pasta. It actually doesn't taste that much different. I finally convinced my husband to do that last week, and he's decided that it's actually all right. Or even, this is bulgur wheat that's in this bag here, and it doesn't look at all like pasta, but it's a pasta replacement and a much healthier one. You can get it in any supermarket. Avoid white breads, avoid bagel, avoid the white pizza bases. If you're making pizzas at home, make them wholemeal. If you have to have a pizza, make it wholemeal. I mean, let's be realistic here. I'm not going to turn you all into little angels. You're not all going to go away and not eat a cake ever again. It's not like that. We need to look into the real world. So, practical changes that you can make, they'll make it slightly better for you. All of the white-based carbs are all nutrient-free. So you're eating all that fat and it's going straight here, and you're getting no nutrients from it and no gain at all. Empty carbs, I call them. So you need to be careful of those. Protein, like I said, protein builds up your hormones, your immune system. It's very, very important. Milk, bread, poultry, eggs, dairy, fish, soy or tofu if you're a vegetarian. Rice, beans, pasta, another good source of protein. And fibre is another thing people miss out quite a lot. That one there, muesli and porridge and that sort of thing is really good for fibre. And fibre is very important because you need it to keep your bowel moving, and people that have got a low fibre diet often bowel cancer. is connected to that. It also is bulky, makes you chew more, takes longer. It also carries fat around with it, so it will help you to not gain weight. It will help you to lose weight if you've got a higher fibre diet, and slows down the absorption of your fat. So it's not less likely to go onto your bingo wings and your muffin top if you've got a higher fibre diet. And you're looking for barley, broccoli, which I did not know. Broccoli is good for fibre. Prunes, apples, citrus fruits, that sort of thing. And obviously cereals.